What's up, people? I'm Big D. You're not. And that's okay. So I got my latest delivery of Imperium. Kind of interesting. I got some models I knew were coming, but I wasn't expecting. Some models I've been wanting to get. You can't get them in the store right now. They're freaking impossible. But hey, we got Lichguard. We got freaking Lichguard, shields and all. So these guys are going to get built real soon. I got my third Canopic Wraiths. I finally have my unit of Wraiths. And what's up, my man? What's up, my man? And the two-part Marnius Calgar. I don't know how to feel about Marnius Calgar. Like, if I build him, he is like super covered in lots of ultramarine stuff. So it's I would have to really, really shave and clean and strip and mod the heck out of him to turn him into one of my proto wolves. I also dug into my box of junk, my stuff that needs to be built, and I got a bunch of my orcs built and primed. So eventually I'll start working on my orcs. Wow! Yeah, I mean, it's the thought. I can either do some Ultramarines or... Because I also, Commodore was so nice, I got to pay him back for it. I don't remember if I did or not, but if I did and I didn't, then I'll get him taken care of. He picked up Ulrich the Slayer for me, the actual official Ulrich the Slayer model. So that's another wolf priest, but that's a very specific. He's really good. Like, you throw him with a squad of like 15 Blood Claws and just go nuts because nobody freaking dies in that unit. But yeah, let me get this out the way. I've been using this as a paint palette. Yeah, it's a thing. Things are a thing. Things are stuff, and stuff is great. What is up, my people? Yes, Zane, it is really good to see it. And that's exactly what I'm thinking, Zane. I might just paint him. I might just build him and paint him up. Just to make like a display, not put him on bases, but actually like maybe do like a little diorama. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I'm not in a rush to get to him. I have so many things ahead of him in line that I will get to him eventually. But I mean, I have an entire box of like Marines I got to get to. Like, I got all my my heavy intercessors I got to get to painting. I got stuff. Yeah, Mr. Zane Games, though. I like the fact you got a new you. A new you. Yeah, the big thing is that I'm kind of focusing on the stuff I have. I'm trying not to build into new armies. I'm trying to keep away from new armies because I know I'm eventually, because I've got the models, I'm trying to get my backlog built and painted. So I'm trying to focus on my Necrons, focus on my Age of Sigmar stuff, and focus on my Space Wolves, which we're getting places with my Space Wolves. I still got some more details to do on this, but we're getting really close here. I really love freaking Vallejo Old Gold. It is such a good color, and you can put like a reddish brown wash on it, and it just makes it look just like this beautiful burnished gold. It's such a good color. But he is really close to being done. I took all of my tests, so now I just need to go to the bus company and get set up to get my DOT physical, and then we can start training to become a school bus driver. Yeah. Ain't hard to chat. Well, I'm just glad to see you're there, buddy. I hope you've been doing well. It's been a while. Yeah, bus go vroom. Yeah, be blunt. I am so freaking sick of IT. I mean, I'm still doing it now because it's paying the bills, but I'm just so sick of IT. My goodness. I mean, I don't even know how to just describe it. Just the industry. My God, my phone is blowing up. I gotta mute this thing and stick it away to charge. What the hell is going on? Oh, looks like I got an. Yes, I can run over many things with about many thingies. You know the really bad thing. Um, they're really bad right now. They're like really doing bad right now. But there's one guy that's playing Death Guard nationally that is just rocking them. He is absolutely blowing people up in tournaments with them. And I kind of want to see his list because there's literally, he has nothing that I don't have in that list, as far as I know. He might have a couple things. I have to look, but I don't think he has anything that I don't have. And I kind of want to just do what he's doing and just get my death card up and go, just kind of get the stinky boys back up and going, just to be a pain in the ass to people. Cause holy shit, that'd be hilarious. It's like he's winning and people are talking about it. Like it's all over the Warhammer community boards. Like this guy he's literally becoming a legend in Warhammer community, in the Warhammer competitive community, because he's just like, what is this guy doing? He's playing Death Guard. He's killing and beating Eldar with Death Guard. What in the hell is he doing? And just people cannot believe it. So yeah, it's been crazy hearing about this guy because apparently he has just been doing like some crazy ass shit with his Death Guard. And just winning. Just nothing but win. Let me pull up his list because his list is crazy, man. This Death Guard list he's running, I actually had been looking at it. I should have had a list of it ready because I don't know that I'm ready to jump back in and just go stupid into competitive again. I'm kind of okay playing the playing casually. Let's see here. Here it is. 40K events, Meta Monday, and then there were 3. Where is this guy that's just wrecking people with Death Guard? There was a big talk about it the other day. Also, Poland uses dumb scoring. Just saying, Poland uses dumb scoring. The winning army went 4-0-1. The second place army went 4-1. The third place went 3-0-2. The fourth place went 4-1. The fifth place went 3-0-2. The sixth place went 4-1. The one person that went 5-0 came in 13th because of scoring. He was unbeaten. How is he not the top player there? Your score, your win-loss record should be at least, unless if you're not doing a cutoff, your record should be the first thing you're judged on. There isn't some weird score system where it's like, you get it. Every game is like a 0 to 20 score. So even if you win the game, it's a 0 to 20 score, and it's about beating your opponent by the largest opponent. Like if you beat an opponent, if you go like if you score maximum points and you block them out of scoring the minimum amount of points they could physically score, you get a full 20 points. So it's all based on your differential in score. And then they total your points up, and that's how they do the thing. Well, this town guy won every game, but he was just squeaking by every opponent, and so he came in 13th. It's the dumbest scoring system I have. Apparently, it's the WTC scoring method. Like, I don't get it. He went 5-0, but because he was only barely eking out wins, he came in 13th. I mean, that's just dumb. That doesn't. I mean, and the thing is, the guy is actually in the thread talking about it, and he doesn't feel bad about it. He's like, it's just the way they play there. It's just the way we are there. We know this. We're going in. You wanna they value you crushing your opponent more than you beating your opponent, which doesn't sound fun. That's like the absence of fun, which is why I'm glad WTC did not take off really. I'm really glad that WTC didn't take off here in the States. Okay. So the Death Guard list that he took a Sorcerer and Terminator armor with Curse of the Leper, Plague Combi Bolter, and a Plague Fist. Took a Lord of Virulence with a Heavy Plague Fist, a Twin Plague Spewer, Mortarion, Rotwind, Silence, and the Lantern, Typhus, and then he took a 75-point Chaos Spawn, so 2-man Chaos Spawn group. I guess that is what that is. 55-point squad. A group of cultists, squad of Death Shroud Terminators, second squad of Death Shroud Terminators, 3 Plague Burst Crawlers, a Poxwalker squad with 20 man blob of Poxwalkers, and then allied in 2 blobs of Nurglings. So he's using the Nurglings. He's using the Plague Burst Crawler with buffs from Mortarion to target key units, using lots of smaller to medium units to play the mission, and hiding Terminators and using Mortarion threatening counter charges. Basically, he's using the Terminators and Mortarion to guard his stuff, and then he's using throwaway units to run around and score points. Like the Nurglings, dropping them in the back. Oh, that's crazy. So, I mean, there's a lot. Okay, so yeah, the Mortarion aura basically makes the PDCs broken, and then you add the Lord of Virulence. They hit everything on 2s with indirect, reroll 1s, and can't have their damage or armor piercing reduced. Wow! The Lord of Virulence with, oh man, I gotta look at those numbers. Oh, that's nasty. Like I said, this is all shit I've got. Like 2 squads of Death Shrouds, I've got 2 squads of Death Shrouds. Plague Burst Callers. I've got 3 of them. I've got 120 Poxwalkers, much less just one squad of 20. I've got 2 squads of Nurglings. The 2 Chaos Spawn. It's cultists, because it's 3 squads of 10 cultists. I think I've only got 2. I'd have to get a 3rd squad of cultists. Oh no! I'd have to get more dudes, like normal dudes. Weird. I actually think I've got a squad of unpainted cultists that I think are just a generic cult. Oh yeah, I could do that. Oh, that's so dumb. Oh. Typhus, I have. Mortarion, I have. Lord of Virulence, I have. Death Guard Sorcerer, Terminator Armor. I have. I don't know if I have them specifically, but I have. I think I have. Oh, man. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh. Hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s, can't reduce. Oh, man, just... Oh, that's tough. Oh, man. And just hiding them, because he's running mortars and spitters. He's not even running the entropy cannons. Oh, man. Oh, no, he's running 1 with entropy cannons. Okay, so he's running 1 with entropy cannons. Ooh, that sounds delicious. Just, hi, we're going to eat your face from across the board. Oh, that's nasty. That's nasty. That is so gross. Oh, I gotta look at the deck and see how that works with that. That's crazy. That is absolutely nuts. I love it. Oh, that's hilarious. I gotta save that and look at that later, because that looks like fun. And he even has a YouTube stream where he shows where he demonstrates it. Oh. Okay, Death Guard are back on the menu. You just got to play them very skillfully. So I got to look at how he does it. That's the funny thing. You look at the way you play to the meta right now. And right now the meta is Eldar, which are little weak units that die quickly, but they're glass cannons. And big old blobs of gene stealer cults, which, yeah, they can be untargetable, but if I can see them, then I can shoot them. And that's what, oh man, that is hilarious. That is just dumb. That is hilariously dumb. You reveal them and then bomb them. Wow. That is fun. Yeah. Oh. Because, yeah, I love my wolves, but, right now Marines basically have one way they play. And I'm just not interested in playing that. I could probably play the wolves in a couple other ways. I've got some ideas. I've done some stuff. I've been playing against Tyranids a lot lately, and the Tyranid player I play against plays Monster Mash, so it's a tough fight because every single monster is like every single thing on his army is at least a toughness 9. So there's just so many things that just wound on 5s, wound on 6s, wound on 5s, wounds on 6s. You have to take heavy strength weapons, and it just makes Marines so. Ugh, if you don't have all the missile launchers. Although there was a thought of taking like a bunch of treads. Mr. Ben, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. I gotta get back to painting my fat boys. I gotta get back to painting some. I haven't been painting a lot the last. I haven't been painting a lot the last couple of weeks. I've been just busy with a bunch of different things. Just not really focusing. Doing a lot of building. Trying to get some cleaning done around there. Trying to get some rearranging. Trying to get some organization. Getting the whole upper area organized so that I can pull everything off the table and then take the table down. I was going to try and do it this weekend, but things came about. So things are happening. They're going to see some major changes in here. Like I talked about it last week. Yeah. Do. Got my guys lying around, stuff to do. In the transition. That's where we are. We are in a transitional period. That's okay. So weirdly enough, had a long discussion this weekend. Yesterday, as a matter of fact, had a long discussion with somebody about the nature of the IP of the old world. So there's a lot of guys that used to play the old fantasy setting that are looking at the old world like, I can bring my army back, but there's only so many armies that are coming back, and there's a lot of armies that aren't coming back. So there's a lot of people like, but I want to play my Skaven because Skaven's a popular thing. And it's very obvious that they're focusing on ranges that don't exist in... That was the thing I took away. They're focusing on ranges that don't exist in Age of Sigmar. That only exist in the old world. So there's a lot of people that aren't going to be in the fight, which is weird to me. Because, but it's all about selling models, I guess. It's all about selling models. So we're going to see Empire. We're going to see Bretonnians. We're going to see, I guess, a few others. I don't know. We're going to see, the undead Tomb Kings. And I was really excited at one point. And then I thought about it and I went, no, I'm not excited. I'm not excited. I like the models. I like the idea of the models. But I'm not excited for it. Because I really like Age of Sigmar. Age of Sigmar is fun and fast-paced and interesting. And I don't believe... Weird. I honestly don't believe that it's going to be fun. There's a bunch of factions that are not going to be represented. And it's using the old game system, which sucks. It's the reason I'm not getting into... I really liked... I thought I was hyped up for it. Then once I played, I was like, with Age of Darkness, Horus Heresy. Like, do I really want to play that? No, I don't. I don't want to play that. I have no desire to play that. I love the models, man. But I have too many models, so I'm not going to buy models I'm not going to play. And that's been a big realization on my part. I need to stop buying models, which have been really good this year, but not buying models I'm not going to play. Not buying models I'm not going to play. I don't do display models. I do models I want to play. And yeah. So, and then I thought about it more. I'm like, well, what would make the game fun? And we were talking about. We're like, well, what would make it fun to do this, do that, do this, do that. We were talking about all these things, and then somebody pointed out, well, if you really want to play it, why not play the real version that has all the different factions? And we were like, huh? Like Total War. And I'm like, isn't that releasing? Like Total War 3 is releasing like in a couple of weeks. They just released another trailer for it. Why would I play a miniature game that's a cut down version of the video game that takes away all the boring parts so I can just focus on playing the game? I mean, one of the reasons I don't play Blood Bowl is because did I see this Cyberpunk Combat Zone? For what? What are you talking about, Ben? For what game? What game system? You're making me Google things while I'm at here. Cyberpunk. Oh. Combat Zone. Cyberpunk Red Combat Zone. I did not. Cyberpunk Red Combat Zone. Huh. So it's Kill Team set in the world of Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, I'd love to see it. I really would. See, now that's what I'd be almost interested in. I might even be interested in, because if there's people willing to play, like I said, I would love. I'll be honest. I would be bluntly honest. I would love to play, freaking what do you call it? GWs. They're down for maintenance right now. I would love to play Necromunda. I would absolutely love. Well, that's right. You were at Gen Con. Okay. So yeah, I would love to play Necromunda, because that's right up my alley. It's cyberpunk, it's grimdark, it's 40K, it's crazy phase, it's a good game. I've played it before, so I'm pretty familiar with the rules. We've all played 40K before. The rules haven't changed that much. It's pretty cool. But I don't know anybody that plays it anymore. And it's like one of their most popular secondary games, but there's nobody in the area that plays it that I know. You met Mike Pons. Oh, that was the picture with you, right? Yeah, that was the picture. I was going to say that was the picture I saw you on Facebook. Yeah, I mean Mike Pondsmith. I mean, you know, Mike Pondsmith is such an interesting guy. I met him briefly years ago. I want to say, oh gosh, it had to have been like in the late 80s. No, it was after, so it had to be like the early 90s. I think I met him in the early 90s. Um, it's so interesting to see, because, you know, the guy's like one of the he's like one of the godfathers of gaming, really out there. I mean, the guy's been in the industry forever. And you know, when you talk about an industry that is dominated by a demographic, and he is just not part of that demographic. It's so cool. He's got such a great perspective. I think that's part of the reason why Cyberpunk was such a success with him. Because, you know, he's just, he doesn't have that same perspective. He's such an interesting guy. So that's really awesome. That's amazing that you got to meet and talk with him. I mean, mm, might have been 80, it might have been 94 I met him. And I think about it, it was probably like 94. It's like 93 or 94. Yeah. I mean, the guy is just, yeah. Oh, Ben, are you excited for Thursday? Are you excited? Are you hype? Are you hype? Because I got a mission. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a great time. We're gonna have a great time on Thursday. I am rejuvenated. I've taken some time off of a lot of stuff, and I've taken some time to get my head right, and working on. I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe. Whatever, dude. No, I'm gonna be there. I'm excited. I'm like super excited. I have a mission, and I have some ideas, and there's stuff. There's stuff, and there's things. That's what it's all about. It's stuff and things. Stuff and things. Things and stuff. Um. Yeah. Like, I really wish people more. I knew more people that played Necromunda, because it is the. I mean, yes, it's 40K, but it's not 40K. It's Kill Team before Kill Team was Kill Team. I mean, literally, the old Kill Team, the old Kill Team, like, their campaign rules took a lot from Necromunda. It would have been, it was cool. Like, it's one of the reasons I like Kill Team so much. I just wish there were more people playing Kill Team that I like. Like, the one guy I know that plays Kill Team regularly, I don't like him very much. I'll be honest. The problem with talking about starting a Necromunda league, I before I talk about a league, I got to talk about having 4 players other than me, or at least 4 players including me, that are actually willing to show up. I think there's only 10 people worldwide that play it. It's funny because actually, again, I still get the trade magazines. I still look at the trade magazines. It's one of the reasons I try to gauge some of the things I know about the industry. And when I talk to some of my buddies that are still in the industry, Necromunda is not popular here in our gaming group. But Necromunda is like literally G Dub's number 3 or 4 game. Like, you got 40K, you've got Age of Sigmar, and then it's like it and freaking Kill Team. Like, Kill Team, because Kill Team's been picked up by a lot of the wargaming community as a nice skirmish game. People are really, I mean, Kill Team's really growing in popularity. You're seeing it getting a lot of representation in tournaments and whatnot. They're throwing so much effort into Warcry. I think they're trying to bolster Warcry to make it as popular as Kill Team. And I think the thing that makes Kill Team likable and wantable and desirable is that it's a skirmish game set in 40K. And 40K, you got a lot of 40K players who are like, I can place this on the side. Warcry is all unique bands. Yes, you can build armies with regular minis, but the best bands are all like unique box armies. And that's kind of a problem for a lot of people, considering a lot of people that are getting into like Warcry are already dropping tons of money on the rest of the hobby. It's a shame because I personally really like Warcry. I really like Kill Team. And I like that Warcry is not just a carbon copy of Kill Team. Like, I like that it came out with the rules that Warcry's use. I mean, that Kill Team's using now first. I like that their teams are unique. They're actually unique. You can get them and use them in Age of Sigmar. They're not great in Age of Sigmar. Some of them are okay usable, but for the most part, they're unique to that game and they're really good within that game system. And they're kind of like we're taking what's about Necromunda and taking what's about Kill Team and kind of meshing the two. I know one of the big problems people have with Necromunda is that Necromunda needs some setup, or at least classically needs some setup, and you want to have. Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. The box sets are fabulous. My gosh, the Warcry box sets are fabulous. Like, it's interesting. If you bought all 4 of the Gur box sets for Warcry, you now have an entire table worth of Gur terrain that you can set up and play 40K on. It's got enough piece of terrain to actually play Age of Sigmar in a full Gur setup. It's a beautiful, beautiful table. Somebody pointed out, went, hey, check this out. You take the 4 boards, they fit together, and you put the terrain from each one on their boards, and hey, it's a play board. And I think, obviously, that was on purpose. I think that's what they're going to kind of go with because they want to. I think that's what they're going to do. I think each set they're going to do a cycle of 4, have the 4 boards, and then have this terrain set that's bespoke for that realm. I don't disagree with you, though, about that Lumineth one. I mean, especially given your paint job of your Lumineth. I love your Lumineth. I talk about it. I honestly could say it's one of the reasons I don't want to finish building or painting my Lumineth. Because I got them because I wanted them originally. And I have a paint scheme set aside for them. But I'll be honest, I'm really intimidated by painting them because, to be blunt, you went with such this different paint scheme, and it's such a cool paint scheme. And it's just like I would paint my meh and put them next to your Lumineth, and they look like shit. And you've got just a beautiful Lumineth army. You really do. I love you. Gosh, I love that rust orange with the turquoise. It's just such a beautiful color combo. I mean, just talking color wheel and color theory, Ben, those 2 colors go together so perfectly. It just grabs you put it on the table. It's like, damn, those are nice. And then you add to the fact that you're an amazing painter, and it's just like, damn. Blast in the past there. What else is going on? Like I said, dude, I cannot fault you. That is just, I seriously, dude, I mean this. And I'm not just trying to, your paint job on those guys is so gorgeous. That is such a beautiful army. Gosh, that is such a pretty army. I really want to see that full army done and just put out on a display board. You could definitely go to like an Armies on Parade and just, if you did a full army completed like that and put on a display board that matches those bases, you could put that in an Armies on Parade and absolutely just wreck an Armies on Parade. Just such an amazing looking, just so striking. Jeez. I mean, that's the big thing. They just jump out of you like, wow. Oh, they're so good. They remind me of some of the really great painted shit during the glory years of Warhammer, when you saw people that had had armies for 10, 15 years and were lovingly crafting and repainting models when they came up with a better scheme or a better method, and going back and repainting and redoing them, so that they were bringing this army, and this entire army was on just this gorgeous, beautiful army that all flowed. I mean, for the longest time, I always saw the the guys that I shouldn't say the guys, I didn't see it. I always thought of people commissioning army paintings. That was something that a pro, like a pro level team player, or funny enough, it was, oh, that's a European thing. In America, we paint our figures. I never thought of commission painting as a thing here in the States. As a kid in the 90s, as a 20-year-old in the 90s. And I just never thought it was a thing, you know, because it never even dawned on me to pay someone else to paint my figures. It's not in my DNA. And I would see people with these gorgeously painted armies. I knew they painted because, you could see, like, they'd have a couple that they were in the midst of still working on, and they were, like, oh, I'm going to keep this guy at the end. These are the first guys that die. I'll pull them off because they're not done yet. And it was always a thing. And then I remember, like, these guys would do the historical armies, the 15 millimeter historical guys, and they've just got, doing the Prussian dragoons. I remember because they just have such a gorgeous color scheme, and just seeing, or the Polish guys, the riders with the huge, I forget what the hussars, I think they were called, the huge thing of things for of feathers and whatnot on their horses. Just, and seeing, these guys paint them in 15 millimeter. And these are guys that these have lovingly worked on these miniatures for years. And it's the thing is that I've never looked at, like, painting magazines and, like, heavy metal paint jobs and magazines. Oh, I can't do that because I know I couldn't freaking do it. It's not my job. Like, I don't paint as a job. I'm always okay with my models being pretty good. And I'm okay with that. Like, I get pretty good and I'm like, yay! But I look at some of these figures like, oh, and I've wanted, actually, there's a couple of signature pieces I've honestly, part of me goes, yeah, I should probably just get that. I know a couple pro level painters. I should see what it costs to get that painted. And I'm like, hell no. Hang on. What am I thinking? Stop. I am a badass and I'm going to paint that shit. And it's not going to be an award winning blah, 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 but it's going to be mine and I did it. Is it the best painted model? No. It probably could be a lot better. But I got to admit, I am super pleased. I'm super pleased with how my Razorback came out. I like it. I like how crisp my yellow always comes out. I've figured out how to paint yellow. A lot of people have problems with yellow. I've figured it out. Although now I'm seeing it in brighter light. I'm thinking I should do another coat in there. I might have to do another coat and redo all of my freaking decals on the yellow because, man, I was not painting it in bright enough light. I'm seeing flaws. Damn it! Ow! But it's a good fig. It looks good. It looks good. And it's got las cannons. So I will fuck somebody up with it. I will shoot some big old shit off of the table with it, which is why I wanted it. Oh, 40K. My beloved guard are being decimated. They just don't do anything really good. They don't do anything good. Tau don't do anything good right now. It's really like, oh. How can you have such good guns and never hit with them? They just don't have the stuff. I don't know. I do a lot better with figures that I learn better. I've been playing my knights a lot lately, actually, and I've been enjoying that. And I'm thinking that until some nerfs or some changes and stuff go on, I'm going to stick with my knights for now. I have a really big knights army. I've got about 4,000 points in knights, which isn't saying a lot because knights are pretty expensive. Actually, I don't even know if I have it. Well, let's see. I have the one big knight. He's 500 points. I have 4 smaller knights. Yeah, I'm pretty up there because I got 4 small knights. Those are all about 400, 450 a piece. And then I've got 7 little knights. So yeah, I'm at least 3,000. At least 3,000 points. So I got plenty I can screw around with. No, it's close to 4 because I got the 4 knights. Knights are fun. And I like the fact that I'm not looking at the meta when I'm playing. I don't look at the meta army and it's like, oh, this is how you play knights. No, I don't look at that. I look at how I want to play to be fun. But I look at how it's going to deal with the armies that are in play right now. And I think that's why we saw Death Watch starting to come up on in the ranks right now because you're going to be fighting Xenos. So why not get a bonus to fighting Xenos? Death Watch get bonuses against Xenos. Let's go kill some Xenos. Because you're going to see Eldar. You're going to see Gene Stealer cults. You're going to see Tyranids. I mean, play to your strengths. I want to play a guard list that's nothing but tanks. I want to see if I can get how close I can get to 2,000 points in nothing but armored vehicles. This is dumb. What are you gonna do about it? I got 12 toughness across the board. Screw off. You ain't gonna do nothing. You're gonna sit there and take it. It's just dumb. Yeah, I mean Marines melt. I don't even want to talk about 40K right now anymore. I mean, 40K is 40K. I want to talk about ideas for 40K. I want to talk about silliness. I want to talk about fun silliness. Because that is the mood I am in with miniatures and model building right now. Like, Age of Sigmar has me shook. Like, I really like my Nurgle guys. I really want to get working on finish painting my Nurgle guys. I want to get finished building and painting my Sunnesh. I want to build my OCR Bone Reapers. I got to get some of this stuff out the way, though. I want to build and paint and build and paint and build and paint. I'm not even there really I got to play right now. I want to build and paint. I want to just build and paint and build and paint and build and paint. I want to play my Necrons, really. I mean, that'd be fun. Play stupid Necrons, because Necrons are dumb. I love them. They're just dumb. I'm going to put 4 blobs. I'm going to put at least 3 blobs of 20 warriors out there. What are you going to do about it? Blah. They all got back up. How you doing? Hi, we're Necrons. How you doing? Just put reanimators with every single one of them. Hi, here we are. How'd you guys get back up? What do you want, man? That's what we do. Robot zombies. Hi. I don't talk about other games too much, like non-miniature games. But Magic is just Magic the Gathering. I don't even know what to think right now. They had that Lord of the Rings expansion. That was a Worlds Beyond expansion, basically like the 40K stuff. It's basically meant for Commander or just playing against other Lord of the Rings decks. And I didn't buy any. I kind of refused to buy any. But a buddy of mine's like, "Hey, I got a bunch extra. You want them?" So he gave me like a big box because he was collecting them just to collect them. He doesn't really play that much, so he was just trying to collect them to get the set. So he got a huge box of extras. Like, here, it's all yours. And they're none of them are rares. They're all like commons and uncommons. But I mean, I can build decks with that, and I can add them into my commander decks. I really like Magic the Gathering Commander. I like Commander a lot. Commander's a fun format because nobody freaking takes it seriously. And the people that do are perfectly fine with, oh, you guys aren't playing like competitive level? Fine, let me go get my fun deck. And they've got fun decks that do silly and stupid stuff, and everybody's okay with that. And at least the people I play with are like the most casual tryhards you ever met. They're like, I don't care. I'm going to do something dumb. I had an idea. One of my guys had this idea for a deck that he's not going to win games with it. And he's even said, I'm not building this deck to win games. Because if the deck works the way he wants, he kills everybody, including himself, at the same time. And he'll take that as a win because nobody could stop him. He's basically playing a time bomb deck. He's got a commander that is insanely cheap to cast. And basically he has an effect on him to give him tokens. And if you do it 3 times in one turn, he explodes, dies, and every creature and every player takes 3 damage. If a commander does 21 damage to another player, they're dead. So his goal is to make him blow up 7 times. How many times can I make him explode before the other players kill me and take me out of the game? And I'm like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I sat there not being able to understand it. I'm like, well, how do you keep yourself from dying? And he finally went, we were talking about, I'm like, we could put this to put yourself to reduce some damage. He's like, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm literally building this deck with my commander and 99 mountains. So I can put him down and blow him up. Blow him up, blow him up. And will they be able to stop me before I kill everybody on the board? And I was like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And oh my gosh, it's hilarious. I'm trying to kill everybody. You got to stop me or I'm going to win by default because I killed all of you. That is so dumb. Oh my god. But it's what commanders like. A commander can be like that. Like a buddy of mine was another buddy of mine was playing a deck that if you cast a spell that targets you as a player, specifically if you cast a spell, and it affects everybody, if you cast a spell that targets you as a player, everybody gets that effect. So if you cast a spell, I get to go in my library and search for a land and put it into play. Or if I crack a card that makes me go into my any effect or spell that targets you as a player and allows you to do something, every player gets to do it. It was the most insane game of Magic I've ever played because basically his deck is relying on everybody else's buffs, which isn't that big a deal for some decks. But I'm literally playing a deck that targets myself. Like one of my favorite decks to play is I am like at least 2 to 3 times a turn doing things that specifically target me, basically diving into my deck to dig things out. The deck is built around me digging through my deck and pulling things out to get them out of the way to get the effect out of putting them into play. Because a lot of it is I go into my deck, I pull 3 lands, and I put them into play. Because I get things that affect what happen trigger when I put down lands. Well, I play an effect that I get to do that with a land. Everybody gets to do that. I do something that does it to it again. Everybody gets to do it. I do it so I draw 3 cards, and I can have to discard. I have to discard 2 unless I discard a land. Everybody else gets hit with that same effect. So I'm like cycling through my deck, and everybody has to do the same thing. And it was hilarious because he's relying on all those same buffs because he's basically living off other people's buffs, which is hilarious. Especially when I cast the Reshape the Earth, which is a spell that lets you go into your deck, pull out any 10 lands, and put them directly into play. And everybody was just like, what? And then they looked at the other stuff that happens, and like, that's great. And there were a couple people like, that's awesome, we get all these land in play. And somebody was at the other end of the table realizing, no, that's bad. Do you know what that's going to do for him? Yes, but we all get 10 land. But he's going to get 10 land. And it was hilarious. He's like, we need to counter that. But no, I want the land. I need the land. But I know. So it was an interesting because of that effect. And that's what I like about Commander. You get to see such silly and weird and fun combos and silly and weird things that come into play. And just silly, dumb stuff. Because you can't really rely on anything because you can only have one of any given card other than the basic land in the deck. And that's brought my life back into Magic. I sold, when I got back into Warhammer 7 years ago, I sold all my Magic cards. I sold 25 years of collecting Magic. I sold it all. I got rid of every last bit of it. And I haven't gotten back to that level. I don't have tons and tons and tons. But I've got a good pile of cards right now. I've probably got about 2,000 cards, maybe. A lot of it's junk, and I could probably get rid of it. But there's really nothing to do with it. But it's just one of those things that it's kind of fun. Because I'm playing Commander and I'm not taking it seriously. If I have an idea for a deck, well, I can go diving and pull up a couple cards here and there. But nobody cares. I can go digging for a single card. I'm not buying high. I bought the highest expense card I have ever gotten since going back in a couple, almost 6 weeks back. No, it was 4 weeks back. But I traded a bunch of my extras back in for it. Cards I didn't need and I wasn't going to play. So I didn't really spend anything for it. I traded cards in for card credit to pick up my Allosaurus Ranger. Or Allosaurus Herder. Hi, I heard Allosauruses. Dumb card, but it's a lot of fun. For an elf deck I'm building and built, and it's dumb. The deck is dumb. It's called Elf Ball. That's what everybody calls it. I did it in a very different way. People are like, that's interesting. That's dumb. It's dumb, but I like it. And Magic's kind of cool. I kind of dig it. But and I'm seeing all these other card games come up now, and I'm like, I don't want to get into them, but I see some interesting ones that I kind of think about. There's one called MetaZoo. And one of the reasons I like it, it's one of their cards, they're doing a whole set of cryptids. So it's all SCP cryptid stuff. All the different cards are different, cryptid creatures, like the Mothman and the Bat Baby and the Beast of Bray Road, which actually has a card, and the Hodag, which is actually one of the freaking 6 packs of the new set. That's actually the cover art for one of them, is the actual Hodag. So it's hilarious, just seeing these famous cryptids from all over the country. The Jersey Devil, Bigfoot. The thing I can say is nice is I've been seeing this resurgence of people playing Pokemon. And boy, am I glad that I missed that. I missed Pokemon. I was too old when Pokemon first came out. It's it plays on a Nintendo. I don't really... There's a card game. I don't care. I am not Pocket Monsters. No, I'm not into that at all. Not my thing. Not cool. The kids missed it. They were never real Pokemon fiends. They were like, they're cute, man. But they weren't really into it. They kind of missed it, too. You really had to be a late millennial for Pokemon to be your thing. And now kids are back into it now, and their late millennial parents are back into it with them. Like, oh, we're getting Pokemon. And my God, there's this resurgence of Pokemon lately. It's so much Pokemon cards out there. It's like crazy. Like there's an entire store up on Highway 100, like near Burleigh, that is nothing but Pokemon cards. Is the game really that complicated? Because it never seemed that complicated to me. But there's $1,000 cards in that freaking. There's $2,000 cards. I'm like, what? It's a Pokemon. How is it worth that much? Well, Magic cards are. Yeah, okay. But really? And then now the crazy thing is about 3 weeks ago, Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, wow. God, I hate that game. I'll be honest with you. The reason I hate Yu-Gi-Oh! Is because the worst degenerates I've ever seen in the gaming world were adult man children that would just horrifically beat little kids at a game because they could buy cards and cards and cards and cards. And they would just take joy out of destroying little kids with this game, with this system, with the card game that is not a really good card game. It's really not. It's broken and unbalanced and not a good card game. So I've always had really bad experiences with it. But I guess it's having a resurgence in popularity. I don't know. I guess there's a new TV series or a new movie series or some new series that's bringing it back. And like, because of the resurgence in popularity, 3 weeks ago, they released the 25th anniversary boxes, which are basically reprints of the original 5 booster sets. Blue Eyes White Dragon, Pharaoh's Magic. I forget what the 5 sets are. I know those 2 because they're the 2 most popular. But literally, they reprinted. They're complete reprints. There's nothing new, nothing special. They're just exact reprints of those old cards. And everyone's like, "Oh, it'd be great," and nobody's buying them. And nobody's buying these cards. Like, oh, dude, they're terrible compared to today's cards. They're just terrible. So nobody's buying them. And they're like, oh, Pokemon kept their value. Yu-Gi-Oh! The old cards are like, man, they're crap. They're crap. But card games is crazy. I mean, like I said, Magic Gathering, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, this MetaZoo, and now, My Hero Academia. So apparently it's a manga and an anime that's set in a world where it sounds like a Japanese version of Sky High. It's basically kids go to the superhero high school, they get sorted out, and they get taught how to be superheroes, and that's basically the gist of the show, from what I understand. I haven't watched it, but they got their own card game, and it's getting really popular. And there's a store championship going on at Mequon, not Mequon. I think it's at Franklin, and they got a league there. They have a league in Brookfield, that plays it. Like, really? And now One Piece just came out, and I've had everybody ask, "Well, you got the One Piece cards? You got those One Piece cards?" No, we don't have them anymore. We literally had them for 2 days, and everybody bought them. It's like, okay, well, they're gone. Is it really that popular? And I always looked at it like, okay, so there's a fan base built in because people are fans of One Piece. Okay. And the whole My Hero Academia is a very popular, like recent but very popular anime. And so there's your fan base built in. And I was like, yeah, some of these other people that have these fan bases built into, if they could get a decent card game, they could, oh shit, here comes Disney's Lorcana. Lorcana drops in 10 days. So next week, Friday, Lorcana drops. We don't even know how much we're getting yet. We haven't seen it. But I know at Gen Con, there were some people who were able to buy Lorcana ahead of time at Gen Con. There were people waiting in line to buy Lorcana for 16 hours. Now, for those of you that don't know what Lorcana is, Disney went, hey, we are an IP. We're going to make a card game. And they didn't just go, we're going to make some crappy card game. They literally went and got like a couple of the guys that helped Richard Garfield to create the original Magic the Gathering, and a couple newer guys that have been in the industry for a while but are considered good in the industry, and brought them all together, and they designed a card game. And from what I'm seeing in reviews and what the little bit of play I've seen, the card game's fantastic. You could have put just basic numbers and stats on the game, on the cards, and just played it like playing cards, and it would be a fun game. And then Disney took that, okay, this is a pretty fun game, and they're going to puke 100 years of Disney goodness all over them. And we're putting some of our best Disney artists' work on display because it's all original art. From what I understand, there's no reused art in the Lorcana cards. It's all new art. Even the stuff that's based on like old cartoons, they had new art commissioned. Well, not commissioned. They have their art team do it because they're freaking Disney. Disney basically realized we can take a truckload of money and back it up to our art department and back up another truckload of money to a design department and take 2 trucks of money and design a new card, design and build and distribute a new card game. And those 2 trucks of money are going to turn into global money management because the sales numbers are off the roof for this. I had somebody wanted to pre-order. I had somebody wanted to sign up for pre-order for Lorcana. And I went into our pre-order sheets at GU, and I'm like, oh, okay, I don't see anything here. I mean, I thought there was demand for this game, but I'm not seeing any pre-orders. Oh, we put them into their own tab. Okay, that makes sense, because I mean, it's kind of a big, really, oh my God. Each store is only going to get, I don't even know how many we're going to get. We still don't even know how many boxes of like boosters and starter decks and there's all these different there's like I guess a bunch of basic decks and then a bunch of pre-constructed decks and a bunch of like just boosters. So there's like, basic decks, secondary created decks, and then boosters, just basic boosters. A normal Magic release, like even for like Lord of the Rings, we had a backlog of people that ordered, and we probably had, just talking the Mech One store, probably like 20, 25 pre-orders based on Lord of the Rings. Good 25 pre-orders. And for a small store like Mech One, that's good. I mean, some of the stores had a lot more. We have a waiting list for just the booster boxes. Not, I want a couple packs. I want a box of 36 booster packs. We have a waiting list for Mech One that's right around 40 people long. and there's at least one person on that list that wants 10 boxes. 10 boxes. Figuring a normal booster box is about 200 to 250 bucks. He wants 10 boxes. We not promising him 10 boxes. Because we don't even know how much we're getting, we're pre setting them aside for people, but we're not pre-selling them to them because we can't promise what we're going to get. We can't promise what we're going to be able to sell to people. But the Disney people are out in force, and they want this game. And everybody in the industry is noticing. Because you look at like the card gaming channels, it's all they're talking about. Like, Lorcana. It's a game changer. We sell a lot of Magic the Gathering at my store. We sell a lot. This is the demand for this game is cranked up to 11. I haven't seen this kind of demand. I haven't seen this kind of demand in the secondary market for anything. Like, I mean, I remember when 9th edition dropped and the Dominion boxes dropped. Or the Indominus boxes dropped. And there were lines. There was demand. People were pre-ordering. And it was one of the most successful pre-sales GW ever did. This is Disney's first time dipping a toe into the real gamer market. And I'm hearing numbers that are they're going to sell more product on their launch of their new game in the United States and just from that launch, than Wizards of the Coast have done year to date worldwide. That's insane. That's just insane. The initial offering. You're already seeing eBay go nuts for booster boxes, for starter decks. And then Disney went and did it one step further because they went, you know what? How much are these commander decks? These are basically starter decks. How much are they? They're $50. Our starter deck's going to be $29.95. Your booster packs are $7 a pack. I think theirs are going to be $5.99 or $4.99. It might be $5.99, but they're going to be cheaper. They're MSRP, and I'm talking purely MSRP. They're going bigger and cheaper than the big boys are going. They're literally going our market. And because of all the IPs they own within, nobody's going to be able to stop them. If it's a good game and it's a popular game and it's not just collectors, but it's actually people that want to play the game, getting in the game, and it's a good game, they're going to steal a huge market share. Part of me wants to see that, and part of me doesn't want to see that. Disney already terrifies me. On the other hand, seeing a Lorcana expansion based on the MCU just makes me go, yeah, baby. So I don't know what to think. So we'll see. We we won't know next week, by the show next week, how it went. So in 2 weeks, I think in 2 weeks, I'm just going to be talking a lot more about Olarcana, because I'm going to be working the Friday that the game drops and the first Saturday after the game drops, which is when I don't know if we're going to have events. I would assume we're going to have events, but I haven't seen anything on the schedule. So I don't know what we're planning. It's just crazy to me. And the worst thing about it is I don't actually know that much about the system, because it's great. Well, how does it actually play? And they've shown it a little bit. But man, and I look at Warpstorm. What are they going to do? I am excited to see. I'm very excited to see. We'll see soon. And that being said, I think I've spun out everything I can talk about. So we're going to get out of here a couple minutes early tonight. I want to thank everybody for showing up. I want to thank you, Zane. I want to thank you, Ben. You're the only two that talked tonight, but that's okay. I love y'all. I know I had a few other people in the show tonight. Oh, no. I take that back. I have my man, Mr. Fish. Wah, Mr. Fish, wah. So play card games. Play board games. Play miniature games. And most of all, just play games. Be epic. You can't see anyone. Well, nobody's talked in a while, Zane. You're the only one I've seen for a bit. So that being said, I love y'all. We'll see you soon. And game on.